We're hot. We're live. This would be episode 17, and we're going back-to-back days. It is that time of year where it's there's just a lot going on. Schedules are crazy. Traffic is crazy, which is leading Tanner to get to the studio a little bit later than he likes. So we got to go to a second day. We got to do a second recording and give our the right amount of time for college football.
Yeah, we have.
It's only right. It's only right. Yeah, it is bowl season, but I have to ask. You dabbled into that Aaron Rodgers Netflix documentary yet?
Did it come out? I knew it was.
Yes. Yeah, It came out.
Yeah, no, I obviously haven't checked it out yet, but
I don't think I'm going to.
I think I'll start watching an episode and see how it is, just because it seems a little wild. I don't know, his ayahuasca trips or whatever the hell he's doing.
Again, I'll watch the clip of that. Like if someone wants to just post the clip of him high on ayahuasca, then I'll watch that part of it. But I don't really want to sit through 3 hours of his bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I mean, we kind of saw that on Hard Knocks already, so.
Yeah. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. And also he's on McAfee once a week. You know, the amount of Aaron Rodgers that I want and need is on Sunday. That's the only Aaron Rodgers I really need at this point.
Did you see the big news today, I guess, in college football? Kind of to start the day?
Oh, buddy, there was a lot of news in college football. I mean, where do we want to go into playoffs? Do we want to go into bowl games, or do we want to go into player coach movement, which I think is what you're alluding to here?
Yeah, that's what I am alluding to, but we can start out with, I mean, there's Thursday and then Friday, there's 2 games before the actual playoff game starts. So tomorrow night, who can forget the RL Carriers New Orleans Bowl?
Oh, it's classic.
Yeah,
it's an absolute classic.
One of the best. You got Georgia Southern and Sam Houston.
You got guys just fighting for their lives out there.
And I think Sam Houston just announced today or yesterday that Phil Longo is going to be the head coach for Sam Houston, taking over for Casey Keeler. And Phil Longo was the OC over at Wisconsin before he was let go. So obviously hasn't been with the team at all. They got an interim head coach for the game. I assume that they'll be okay still, but Georgia Southern favored by 4.5 points in this game. I believe Clay Helton's still the coach there at Georgia Southern, and I think is the better team right now with more players ready to play a bowl game and a coach. So if I were to pick anyone to win that game, not necessarily sold on a spread, but I would pick Georgia Southern during that game.
You just blew my mind. I had no idea that Clay Helton was the head coach of Georgia Southern. I think I might have heard that when it first happened and he got the job. Yeah. And like 1 year out the other, it was like I retained that news. It went in and then immediately left my brain for the entirety of the college football season.
What's crazy is like I think that level, like Georgia Southern, is like kind of a perfect level for him because he doesn't have all that pressure of like when he did at USC and having to win constantly or else you're like fired. But he's had very successful seasons with Georgia Southern. They've had good teams. And he's been able to, I guess, run his offense and that sort of thing pretty well in that conference and get him to bowl games consistently. So that's all you can really ask for.
What's kind of funny about his tenure at USC is basically they let him coach for so long that he didn't really have to win every game or win right away. They just kept letting him go. Like there was no pressure. He's like, well, Christ, this is kind of like Lincoln Riley. It's like, how long is he going to get? Because apparently they just don't fire anybody.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I mean, you got Lincoln Riley is going to be one of those guys where they've had a lot of people transfer out. Zachariah Branch, I guess the Branch brothers.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't you dare forget Zion. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough for a lot of teams to find spots, I think, for Zion and Zachariah. Everyone wants Zachariah. He's going to demand a lot of money, Zachariah. So I could see some
As he should.
SEC team picking him up. I guess I could see Ohio State paying out for him. I would say Oregon, but I don't know if we'll have room for his brother, which.
Oh, do you think it's a package deal? They got to go together?
It is a package deal. They said they announced that together. So,
dude, college football is so funny now. I love it.
Yeah. But moving on to the Friday game, the early game, I'd say it's 9 a.m., which is we got a 9 a.m. I love it. Staff DNA Cure Bowl.
Who doesn't love Staff DNA?
Yeah,
and great company.
It's a battle of two teams without a head coach. Ohio, they lost their head coach, and Jacksonville State lost their head coach, and Rich Rod did end up taking that job for West Virginia, which
I saw that.
We were talking about that and last time, and it did actually happen. So he reunites, goes back to his place, which he says now he would like to end his coaching career with West Virginia. Kind of where he got everything going. So
man, it's what is it? It's 2008 all over again.
Yeah, well, I mean, so many of these jobs, like
2007 was the last year he was at West Virginia. Forgive me.
It's the reuniting of coaches. Scott Frost goes back to UCF. It just feels kind of like their teams are going back to what worked before in the past, which we don't know will actually work now. So we'll see about that.
Well, hell, West Virginia, I mean, I guess they don't have anything to lose. I mean, I'm sure they want to get back to where they were, during his tenure and the years after that. Dana Holmgren, wow, I can't talk. Dana Holmgren years, or is it Holmgren? Excuse me.
Dana Holgerson.
Thank you. God, yeah. I can't fucking talk. And so, yeah, I mean, like if we look at year by year, I don't want to spend too much time on West Virginia, but they've definitely had those 10-win seasons, those double-digit years where they're going to big bowl games, and they really haven't had that the last couple of years. So,
yeah, they did have a crazy game last night against Memphis.
Did they cover?
They did end up covering, yes.
Unreal.
Late. And I don't know if you saw like the last sequence of that play. Memphis went down there, got a pick, and then was running it back, and the guy fumbled the pick that he was running back. West Virginia then got the ball again, so they got the ball back from the Memphis getting the pick, and then they had a chance to go down there and actually win the game, and Memphis stopped them, ended up winning, but they won by 5. I think the spread was 6, so West Virginia covers.
So West Virginia, they had, during Rich Rod's tenure, they had 3 straight seasons of 11 wins. And then Bill Stewart took over, and it was 3 straight seasons of 9 wins. Dana Holgerson took over. He had a couple 10-win seasons, but they haven't had a 10-win season since 2016.
Wow. And
then before that, it was 2011. So, I mean, they're itching to get back to those Rich Rod days.
Yeah.
Badly. And that's why he's there.
Yeah. They say bring back. I mean, he did a great job at Jacksonville State. He won they win the Sun Belt this year, and he's had 2 good seasons when he brought him up from the FCS level. So they haven't been up to the FBS for that long. But that is a Ohio 4-point spread, 4-point favorites in that.
And then after that, the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, or is it Gasparilla? Is it a double L? Is it Spanish?
I think it's the first one. I think it's
okay. Well, the white person way, I'm sure, is Gasparilla, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was Spanish for something.
Gasparilla. Yeah,
Gasparilla.
Do you see that is going to be Ty Thompson's first start? The old Duck.
No. And Gasparilla in Spanish means little Gaspar or a gentle Gaspar.
um, so Ty Thompson entered the transfer portal, and he announced that he's going to play in this game and start for the first time for Tulane to basically market himself for other teams.
So
Um,
he's transferring again, but he's gonna play in the game.
He's playing in the game. Yes, very weird, but the coach came out and talked about it. He said that he's
Fuck
also
it, we don't care.
yeah, he basically said welcome back. He's welcome back, but at
Oh, okay,
this
yeah.
at the same time, Darian Mensah, the freshman who'd been starting all year for Tulane and was really good, he transferred to Duke. So he's already transferred out, went to Duke, which I don't even know if it's like really a great transfer for him because Tulane was ranked 17th at the end of the season and was one of the better teams. Went 9-3 or something, somewhere
Yeah, they
around
could have
there.
been in the playoff
Nine
if
to
Ty
four,
Thompson was starting all along.
right? So I'm interested to kind of see that. Obviously, I'll be fucking working during that, so I won't be able to watch it. Maybe catch some highlights of it, but
Yeah, your boy's probably gonna sneak that one on the TV at work.
hell yeah. Um, but Florida favored by 11, over under 49.5. So
Gasparilla.
I'm assuming DJ Lagway is going to be playing, and Florida should be at least 2 point or 2 touchdown favorites. I feel like
Yeah, but Friday night, 5 o'clock. That's the
that's when
God. I'm
what?
gonna be able to watch some of it on the phone,
Oh
but
no, Fish! The first this one's going to be awesome. I'm
I
so
know.
excited.
Well, let's just say that I'll be watching some of this. I'll also be watching a little bit of Zoo Lights at the Oregon Zoo.
Oh, brutal.
Well, my original plan was I was going to be watching my nephew with Joey, my son, and we were just going to be at their house, just hanging out at the house. And I didn't even realize. And then I tell the girlfriend that, and she's like, "Well, we were thinking about rescheduling Zoo Lights to Friday because it's supposed to rain on Sunday. I mean, we can take Alex also, and so Joey, Alex, and you can come." I'm like, "Sure, fuck it, whatever." I blew it. I blew it.
Yeah, Fisher. Yeah, this is probably if I was ranking the playoff games this first weekend of playoff games, this would probably be number 2 on games that I want to watch.
Yeah, behind the obvious Tennessee Ohio State game.
Yeah, I think it has a potential to be one of the most exciting ones. I don't know.
I hope
That
so.
that spread has been bumping kind of around from 7.5. What I've been seeing, and it's Kirk Cignetti's first game where he gets to show the program off on a huge stage.
AP Coach of the Year.
Yeah. So you already know who I'm polling for in this. I've been polling for him all year. Have not jumped off the bandwagon yet, and they got a tough task going into Notre Dame. What could be some snow flurries at kickoff.
I hope so.
I don't know if it's going to be totally like a white game, but I think just a little bit. It should be nice and cold. But it's the Battle of Indiana. I forgot the last time these two teams played.
30. I want to say it's been 33 years is what I saw.
Okay, yeah. It's both teams should be getting healthier, which is good. I want to see all teams. I know Jeremiah Love's back, looking ready. They're probably going to hand him the ball quite a bit. But I'm going to be going for Indiana in this one. Curtis Rourke, I think he needs to step up. I think he's a better passer than what we're getting with Riley Leonard. And if he can be efficient, I'm just worried about this Notre Dame defense. They're really, really good.
Yeah, they are.
Um,
Yeah, but I mean, again, you could say that probably the second best quarterback in the playoffs is Curtis Rourke.
yeah.
God, I hope Indiana pulls it off. I mean, this is their toughest matchup they've had all season besides Ohio State. And we saw how that went. I think when we kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago when the bracket first came out, is just like, I'm nervous that it's going to be similar to that game because of just the talent disparity between the two schools. So I would love to see Indiana win, but I think Notre Dame's going to keep them in check and they're going to end up pulling it out.
I just keep thinking, like, so this is the best quarterback Notre Dame has seen, right? Because let's see, Texas A&M, when they played him, they didn't have Marcel Reese starting, or Marcel Reed.
It was Weigman.
Yeah, and still,
who I don't know if you saw his
Curtis
transfer into
Rourke
Houston.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Curtis Rourke is better than either of those Texas A&M quarterbacks. And
they did play Shuck, Tyler Shuck over in Louisville, baby.
I know, but that's a very similar team, I feel like.
Yeah.
I know Notre Dame won that game, but I don't know. There's something about Coach Sig, and I just think that they might have learned from what they did wrong in that Ohio State game. They also had some really uncharacteristic mess ups on punt team. Like 14 points came from mess ups on the punt team, whether it's a punt fumble, bad snap, where Ohio State's immediately in Indiana territory, and you can't do that, especially not on the road.
Yeah.
They had snap count issues with their silent count. So supposedly they got all that fixed now. And Notre Dame, typically, from what I heard, obviously never been there, isn't the most hostile crowd that you're going to go to, because you're getting a lot of those guys are older.
It's a bunch of Catholics. They gotta, they gotta play nice.
Yeah.
I will say the 52.5. I like the under in this.
Do you?
Yeah. Because I think Notre Dame can keep Indiana's point total low, and I just think Notre Dame's offense, like Riley Leonard and as you said, what's his nuts, Jeremiah Love, they're just gonna run the ball and keep control of time of possession and just keep this thing low scoring.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think Riley Leonard's going to be like throwing it all around, lighting it up, bombing it downfield exactly. So,
but you got to think that Indiana is going to sell out to stop the run, right? Because how I would do is I want Riley Leonard to pass to this, I guess, okay group of wide receivers. Like, no one really scares me on that side. I think Pons can lock down their number one. Other than that, like, they play hard. They have some good run stoppers, like James Carpenter. He's really good up front. They got the Kamara guy on the edge. So I could almost see this game going over, as weird as that sounds.
Well, you're on, bitch.
Yeah. You go under, I'll go over. 52.5. When I initially looked at that, that seemed a little high to me too for these two teams. But to be fair, Indiana has put up a lot of points in this past, like 66 on Purdue, and I think Notre Dame did that same thing to Purdue. Like,
well, I hung 40 on Purdue myself.
Yeah. But I'm gonna, in my bracket, if I had a bracket, I would pick. I'm going with Indiana. Pull spoiler. I'm going coaching edge, quarterback edge, towards Indiana. But obviously, I expect it to be a really close game, and could totally see Notre Dame winning this too. So
then Saturday, We start off with SMU Penn State. I'll be able to catch basically all of that game. I should be good there. I mean, I should be good on all of this. It's just a matter of that goddamn Indiana Notre Dame game. I can't believe I did that. Playing Zoo Lights for that day. What was I think?
Come on.
Blowing it.
Total blowing it.
SMU Penn State. I have no idea what's going to happen in this one.
It could go a couple different ways. Like, it could be on a near blowout, what Penn State does to lower level teams. SMU doesn't have to play in freezing cold weather ever, being in Dallas, Texas. So it'll be interesting how it'll be the most hostile crowd that they have seen.
27 degrees it's supposed to be on Saturday.
One thing that I don't really think Penn State's seen is seeing a quarterback like Kevin Jennings, someone who can improvise, someone who can go out there and extend plays with his legs and pick up a first down when there shouldn't be a first down. I know they're going to send Abdul Carter, Dennis Sutton, all those guys right at him. How do they handle that? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of quick passes, but I think Penn State, their DBs, they tackle pretty well in space. I think it's going to be hard for SMU's guys to get going. I just see a little bit of a talent disparity. I only see this spread going up. I think it was at 8.5 now. It could possibly get to 10 by game time because it could be an onslaught, because I don't see SMU being able to stop. They could sell out on the run, but the way I saw a Penn State line block against Oregon, really made me think that either the two-headed monster running back could have a big day.
Singleton and Allen. I mean, Penn State that's what they've hung their hat on the last couple of years, and give Drew Allers credit for how he looked in that Big Ten championship game. But yeah, I hear you. I am very much leaning towards Penn State in this because of their run game, and I don't know if you're going to be able to stop those two.
Yeah, well, you want to keep long drives of your Penn State, keep the ball out of SMU's hands in that offense, and rely on. I just think that a little bit more well-rounded is Penn State. So
yeah, because again, it's like, all right, well, now we're going to pass the ball. Where's Tyler Warren? Give him the rock.
I think Andy Kudelnicki, he really confused Oregon with a lot of different formations and weird looks. And now that Bo Pribula is not going to be the backup for Penn State this game because he entered the transfer portal, they're little
what a
weird.
name! What a name, by the way, Bo Pribula.
Yeah, he entered the transfer portal, so they don't have their backup quarterback. So hopefully Drew Aller for them stays healthy. But the way Andy Kudelnicki designs these plays gave Oregon fits at times, and trying to figure out what was going on, different motions, and where they're going to have Tyler Warren. I just don't see them being able to stop him. I see him maybe lining up in the Wildcat at times too, if they need towards the red zone area. Meaning,
well, I was just gonna say if Drew Aller goes down, they can just throw Tyler Warren back there.
Yeah, I mean, run the Wildcat. You're gonna have 3 different running backs back there at one point. So, it's really tough when he decides that he's going to go back there and run. That means basically everyone else is blocking, and you don't really have a defense that can cover all those guys. So that's what makes running quarterback so hard to defend.
Yeah, I would love to see SMU win this, but I'm going to go Penn State in this one.
I'm going to also go Penn State, but also I love an upset. So if somehow James Franklin chokes again.
Does he lose his job if that happens?
I don't think so, because what does he keep doing? He keeps having winning seasons, and he was just in the Big Ten championship, and he made it to the college football playoff. I Is Penn State expected to win this year? I don't know. Like, I think he's done just about what he should do this year. Yeah, will it be a really bad loss and another time where he can't win the big game? Yeah, I think you start looking more so. I think the seat gets a little hotter, but I don't know if you ultimately pull the trigger on that.
This is his fifth 11-win season. Excuse me, sixth 11-win season.
See, I mean,
His third in a row, mind you.
okay, so that doesn't really tell me you're that hot. Like he brings in.
Apologies. He went 10-3 last year, so this is his sixth double-digit win season.
I don't think you can fire the guy. He keeps bringing in good recruiting classes. He's just not winning the big games. He dominates the teams he should beat. He dominates the ones that it's a toss up. Every once in a while, he'll get one. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Just he is going to, I mean, if they lose this game, he's just going to get killed for it, though. I mean,
oh, yeah.
He might not make it. Yeah. He might not make it out of that stadium alive.
Also, going on at 9 a.m. is the FCS semifinal.
I see that.
North Dakota State, South Dakota State. That's going to be a great game. I'm going to have that on my other TV. That's on ABC. Those two teams are so good. Like, I think it's going to be really fun to watch.
Well, and then you got South Dakota at Montana State at 12:30.
Yeah, I mean, just judging on that 8-point spread, I think South Dakota's lucky to be where they're at right now. They turn the ball over a lot.
Look at you with the FCS breakdown. I love it.
I mean,
I'm just pissed that Idaho didn't make it this far, because then that would have made that game against Oregon look a little bit better.
I know, but that was another one where I'm still on the theory of, if your coach is on the way out and you're in big games, you're not going to win. Just because he is somewhere else, he does not have everything into this game. You might think he does, just like Kalen DeBoer was 1 foot out at Alabama in the national championship. No matter how big your game is, there's always something more. Like when Jason Eck took that job at New Mexico, I was like, oh, well, he hadn't come out and said it yet, and I'm sure his players were pretty shocked, but they lost that game. I mean, Montana State's really good, so that's probably not the only reason, but that's a factor in it.
All right, so. That's too much. That's too much time spent on FCS. I'm sorry.
Okay. To the next game.
Yeah. Hey, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and my initial reaction, like, this spread has gone, it's gone up. Texas is now a 12-point favorite. I think when that spread first came out, they were like 9.5, 10, maybe.
I got in at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
for Texas to cover the 10.
I did place this one.
So you got that. You got confidence that Texas is going to just end up rolling in this one.
I think when Darian Mensah was pretty much playing on one leg for Clemson, and he said that he's going to wait till the offseason to have surgery, is pretty much all I needed to see. I don't think the Clemson wideouts are good enough to get that much separation over Texas DBs. If they were going to have any shot, they needed Mensah to be able to run the ball. Klubnik can run a little bit, and maybe he pulls some magic out for – it seems like he always does that against Quinn Ewers. They played each other in the state championship in Austin, and Klubnik ended up winning. I think he either played, or Ewers was for South Lake Carroll there in Texas. And I just don't see them being able to score on Texas. I think Texas is going to be able to do what they want. And it kind of just brings me back to when Clemson played Georgia earlier in the season. There's just a little bit of a talent gap. Not a ton, but there's just enough right now where I think Clemson's not going to be able to do enough offensively to keep in this game. And I don't know. I think the Clemson team total, I almost bet it under 20.
Wow.
It dropped down to 19 now. I should have bet it at 20.
Dude, I'm surprised I don't see your balls creeping up on the bottom of that screen there.
I don't know. I don't think that they'll have enough. They're lucky to be here, honestly.
It's true. That is very true. Yeah, and I don't know if I'm just getting like enamored with well, it's Clemson. They're still pretty good. They have talent, right? But I mean,
Bravo
Texas,
Magic.
yeah, and Texas and Georgia, I mean, they literally played to a tie in regulation. They went to overtime and Georgia was able to pull it out. But Georgia just whooped up on Clemson, especially in that second half earlier in the season. And so if Texas and Georgia are that close, if they're on that level with each other, and
Yeah.
Georgia was that much better than Clemson, then I'm buying what you're putting down. I'm smelling what you're stepping in for sure.
I'm seeing this could be the one ass whooping of the
Really?
weekend. I'm not gonna say I could see like this is probably a little far fetched, but 31-3. I'm
Just an absolute behind the woodshed moment.
Yeah, in Austin. Welcome to Austin. You know, I don't know that it will be that bad, but I just see it being a easy game for Texas. And I could be totally wrong. This could be close and high scoring, and I would totally be down for that. But as of right now, I'm not convinced. Not convinced at all.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm getting kind of caught up a little bit with the Clemson allure, but I mean, got to keep in mind what this Clemson team was this year, especially kind of the back half of the season, losing to South Carolina, losing to Louisville, and yes, they beat SMU, but letting them come back in that game and almost losing that game too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the total is a little high for 51.5, I believe it is, for this game. So maybe Clemson does get on the board more than I think they do. Maybe it's more like a 35-14 or something like that, a little closer to the total. But 2 touchdowns is where I draw the line. 19 points, I might even still bet the team total under for Clemson. I might have to do it. I'm talking a lot of shit right now, so I probably should just go. If I don't see him scoring
Do
21
it.
points, I probably should just place it.
Lay those big balls down.
It could be 17. They could score 17. It's still underneath the 19. So I don't know. Going back and forth with it, but that's my two. I mean, hopefully Quinn Ewers had a couple weeks to get a little healthier. That ankle get a little bit better. Those kidneys get a little bit better. That shoulder. I don't know. It seems like that guy has like 3 or 4 different injuries. So
That's yeah, that's tough. I mean, I'm not signed up to any European sports book to place college bets, but I mean, I would take Clemson to cover. But I mean, I just feel like playoff time, Dabo can get them up. These guys are going to want to show everybody in the country that they do deserve to be here. But God, now you got me totally thinking that, bringing up the Georgia aspect and what they did to Clemson and how close Texas and Georgia are, that might not be the case. You have me totally second guessing now.
I think it's also like a little bit of advantage. Well, obviously a big advantage for them having a home game.
Yeah.
You don't
Sold out.
Yeah, you don't got to travel. I mean, you're very comfortable where you're playing, and you're already the better team. But I will say, Texas, I believe, does not have any big wins on their season. if you want to call Texas A&M a big win, you can do that.
But even that game, what was the final in that? Like 17-7?
Yeah. And then there could be a time where this game is somewhere around there, 17-7. Because Texas offense has been sputtering. They haven't been able to get their ground game going at all in the past few weeks. They have played Georgia a couple times, so that might skew it a little bit because Georgia has been shutting down the run like crazy. But even Georgia Tech was able to run against Georgia, so I don't know. The Texas will have Kelvin Banks back, their starting left tackle, which is huge. He's probably one of the best tackles in the country. So that even furthers them hopefully dominating the line of scrimmage. So,
I like Clemson to cover, but yeah, Texas win outright. But this could be an ugly game. I mean, yeah, it could very well be like a 23-7 game or something like that.
Yeah.
And then at that point, Texas is still covering.
Yeah. Going to the main event, I guess the night game, the 8:00 Eastern game at Ohio Stadium.
Dude, yeah, and another one that I have no idea what's going to happen here. Like,
this is probably obviously 8-9 is probably the hardest one to judge.
In Tennessee, I mean, like we've heard about the ticket sales over there. It's probably going to be like a 70-30 crowd at this game.
Yeah. The ticket snafu or whatever the hell they had. The password getting leaked out.
That's so great.
I've seen a ton of Tennessee memes already this week of just different things that the fans are doing, like on Google Maps or whatever, saying that's like Vols North or Neyland North is what they're calling it, the stadium. But the game itself could play out so many different ways. And then what Will Howard are we going to get? I think we're going to get the good Will Howard at home. I think that team is desperately wanting to go out there and show something different than what they showed against Michigan. But if they keep doing the same exact damn things they did against Michigan, meaning running right up the middle and not kicking anything to the outside, I think it's going to be a lot of passing from Will Howard. I think that's something they're going to try to get the ball outside to a lot of their playmakers, Mecca Buka, Jeremiah Smith, things they didn't do in that game against Michigan, which I guess Michigan did a few things with their coverage to kind of prevent that as much as possible. But I think they can kind of exploit that against Tennessee. And then their defense, Ohio State's defense has been pretty good all year, minus the Oregon game.
Well, and also like Tennessee's offense after they got done with playing St. Mary's School for the Blind to start the year, like their offense took a nosedive. Like it was not the same team. Nico was not nearly as efficient as he was at the beginning of the year. They didn't really do a good job of protecting him either.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want Tennessee to win this game, but I feel like when you talk about like, I don't know if blowout is the right word, but like disparity, I feel like this game is not going to be as close as some people think.
That's fair. I mean, I could definitely see that scenario happening. Nico, I just keep going back to when I watched the Oklahoma-Tennessee game. And
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Tennessee could not do anything on offense. They're going to rely super heavily on Dylan Sampson. He might have 30 touches in this game. Nico on the road in a big-time game, he hasn't shown me he can make those throws yet. Dante Thornton, the old Duck, is the top Tennessee wideout. So, I mean, he's like 6'5". He's going to probably be a mismatch. The thing that I just like, all Nico really has to do is toss it up in the direction of Igminosa. And Igminosa's been just PI machine. Like, he's grabbing every single time. Yeah, that happened like 2 or 3 times in the Michigan game, and that's how Michigan got down the field at times. But, if Ohio State doesn't wrap up and tackle Dylan Sampson, he could have a big day, but I just see this team a little bit more motivated at home. They brought in, did you see their stadium? They brought in the red lights. You know the lights that they're all doing in the stadiums this year? Like, the crazy lighting, where they turn off all the lights and then just have it one color.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They finally brought that into their stadium. It's gonna be scarlet. They got
Oh,
the
well,
old scarlet,
game's over then.
jerseys. Yeah, done.
Signed, sealed, delivered. It's
But
Ohio State's.
their fan base has been getting shit for not really getting loud
Showing
during those
out.
games. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they have so many fans and it should be so loud, but it's really not.
By the way, yeah, I just saw the post you were talking about on Apple Maps, them changing the stadium name to Neyland North.
Yeah, how good is that? Their fan base is hilarious. They will travel well.
Yeah. I saw a good tweet is like, do you realize how crazy this fan base is? They're voluntarily traveling to the state of Ohio.
Yeah. Did you hear any of Dan's press conference today?
Dan Lanning?
Yeah.
I did not. I saw that he was tweeting out duck emojis and saw that they got a couple transfers. That's all I saw.
Yeah, we did. Those were pretty big pickups. We needed those. One
But
of
no,
them
what did I miss?
he basically was saying, well, we had our second release of tickets allotment for the Rose Bowl. So if the more fans were able to get tickets for the game, but he basically was like, hey, this is our time for our fans this is going to be the only game we can play on the West Coast in the playoff. Like, this is a time where our fans know we're already going to be there and we're in the game. We're the only team. No other fan base, either Ohio State or Tennessee, knows yet. So get as many tickets as you can and make this like a home game for us. So I know that he's pressing really hard to try to get our fans to fill out the Rose Bowl. I know it's a lot because the Rose Bowl is huge, but to at least give us a good showing there, you know?
Hell yeah. If they're going to make Ohio Stadium Neyland North, we need to make the Rose Bowl Autzen South.
Yeah. Let's do
make
it.
Make that our home away from home.
Autzen South. I love that.
Yeah. There we go. Let's try and start making that a thing, referring to Rose Bowl as Autzen South. Boy, I hope that doesn't backfire.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm going to Ohio State, though. I think they're covering. I think they win this. I think they show that that Michigan game was an anomaly and that they just fucked up, and they are not going to let that happen again. And they're not going to let those felons try and plant a flag in their stadium.
Yeah.
By the way, you saw that, right? The Ohio State representative trying to make it a felony, planting the flag.
So soft.
It's kind of, I mean, yes, but also kind of funny. Like, here is a guy that can make actual meaningful changes in society, and he's spending his time on the Ohio House of Representatives floor, whatever. My fellow colleagues, I'm here to talk about a very serious issue.
Yeah.
No more flag planting at Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean,
his constituents are like, eggs cost a lot, but I'm kind of with this guy.
So real quick, I don't know who I want in this game.
That's a good question. Who would you
rather play?
As far as like football styles go, I think I would rather play Tennessee because I feel Oregon has a better chance to win that game.
Yes, I agree. And
Ohio State is such a wild card, and with obviously how close the game was when they played the first time, that just scares me. The classic moniker in all sports, or especially football, it's tough to beat a team twice. I just don't want to even give Ohio State the chance.
Yeah.
I don't want to
I
give them that
mean,
fuel. I don't want to give them that opportunity. And I've said this before is I just want, if Oregon is destined to win the national championship, I want the resume to have as many good teams on it as possible. And adding an SEC team to that list, that'd be awesome. I would love to see. I mean, by the end of it, there might be 2 SEC teams on that list, but I would love to see a victory over Tennessee in the Rose Bowl. That is my ideal picture. And again, just style makes fights. I think that fight favors Oregon if you're going up against Tennessee.
I agree. I would rather play Tennessee. But part of me is like, Ohio State, I know that they can't cover our guys one-on-one because we saw what happened. And I know Ryan Day's about to make a dumb mistake. And also, Will Howard is also going to make a dumb mistake when the time's tough.
See,
So,
but I did not think Will Howard was going to play that great the first time that they played. And
but
wouldn't you know it? I
stakes
mean,
weren't as high then. He was in a groove that game. They came out and scored first possession. Shouldn't have scored first possession because it was a pick by Bossa, but that's here
that's
for another
true.
day. I just think we can beat them again. I don't think I'm that scared of them. Seeing them the first time, and they're even weaker up front with their offensive line issues. If Ohio State can't run the ball, which I'm assuming they're not going to be able to run the ball on this Tennessee front, just because of Seth McLaughlin getting hurt, Josh Simmons being out, and they moved Donovan Jackson out to left tackle. We saw how that worked against Michigan. It did not work out very well. They've been trying everything they can. So that's what makes me think that they're going to have to pass it to the running backs a lot more than they're going to run it, just because that up the middle with this Tennessee D line is not going to work. It just won't. So that's really the line of scrimmage. Oh, geez, the line of scrimmage. Yeah, it's going to decide the winner. But I will go with Ohio State. That's who I'm going to finish like my bracket out with this week. I just think that they'll have more. They have the home field advantage. They finally get their night game they've been crying about. So, yeah.
Yeah, they
I'll go
are.
with that.
I mean, fuck, they should win this game just purely based off of that. It's like, all right, finally, you got that. They got the late game like you wanted to. All right, now you can't
Yeah.
lose it because you've been bitching and moaning about it all year.
Ryan Day's been crying all year. So,
Crying day. So then, I think we're in lockstep on all these games besides the Indiana Notre Dame game.
yeah, well, you mean you kind of expect that I'm going to be riding for my Indiana Hoosiers.
Oh yeah, I know it. So then you got Indiana versus Georgia. I got Notre Dame versus Georgia, Penn State versus Boise State, Ohio State versus Oregon, and then Texas versus Arizona State. I'm going chalk, and you're saying the upset that we get is Indiana.
No, I can't do it. This is where I think Kirk Cignetti says, hey, I rule Indiana. I will be the top dog in Indiana for while I'm here. But Georgia's going to be too much. The guys up front, Curtis Rourke's going to be swarmed. Georgia won't have to do much on offense, really. They're just going to be way too much.
So Indiana gets the win against Notre Dame, but loses to Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah, probably right.
That's where the Cinderella comes to an end. You give Kirby Smart 2 weeks, 3 weeks to prepare for you, because he's preparing for both Notre Dame and Indiana right now. I just see that as a bad matchup for Indiana for some reason.
Well, we can do our predictions for the next round either. I think maybe on Thursday, the 26th might be best as far as schedule goes, because Lord knows nobody in my line of work is going to be working those 2 days after Christmas. Everybody's going to be checked out completely. So I know I'll be able to squeeze in an episode to record that day, because Christmas, unless you want to do a Christmas Eve episode.
I mean, I'm not against it. I have through the New Year's off after Christmas. So.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go.
So I'll be off, and I took the second off just in case I get a little wild for that Oregon game on the first. So
Yeah, that's a smart move on your part.
I thought about it from the start. I was like, if Oregon does what I think they will, they'll be in the Rose Bowl on New Year's. I got to take the next day off. I already,
Yeah,
I already thought about that. So
that's a good preemptive strike right there.
yeah. So I'll be off after. I mean, I'm not against doing. I work on Christmas Eve, but other than that, I'm still down to do something.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, since we broke down the first round of games, I wanted to chat a little bit about the player and coach movement because
Yeah,
I
we
believe
should
you
do that.
saw
We end it.
the news out of Pullman today.
Yes, and that
Both
was what it was
both
alluding to
pieces of
earlier.
news.
What was the second piece?
Well, you had Jake Dickert leaving,
Yes,
going to Wake Forest, which
yeah,
all right. I
interesting.
mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe the ACC is up for grabs over the next couple of years. I don't fucking know. I mean,
No, I mean, I see this as a move for him. He's basically going to the Washington State of the ACC. Um, he knows how to take a program that has less resources than everyone else and still win games. Uh,
so just make
develop.
this an 8-game, 9-game winner for a couple years and then take the next job.
I think if he can win consistently, I think if he can make a bowl game consistently, I think that's what Dave Clawson did there. I think he stepped down because he realized what this was getting into, what college football's turning into, and it's too much uh, to kind of take on and to deal with. And when you don't have the resources, it could be a lot. Because Wake Forest, let's be honest, baseball is a big priority for them. What else? They're decent at basketball. I know their basketball team's good this year. So they have other sports where they pour in money to. And I don't know who their donors are or where they get their NIL fund, but I think Jake Dicker could do more with less than some coaches. And he's shown that he can do it already at Washington State, which has literally nothing going on right now. So
Now, I'm looking at Wake Forest's former coaches over the years. You know, Jim Caldwell was their coach from 1993 to 2000.
I did know that. I didn't remember what year, but I remember Jim Caldwell being there. Yeah.
Oh my
Weird
God.
enough. Yeah, that's it's a weird poll there. But yeah, Wake Forest um, got themselves a new coach, and I think it's a good hire for him, honestly.
So you saw that, and did you see the news of their quarterback
Oh yeah, John Mateer.
going to Oklahoma, horns
We knew
down?
we knew he was going to do that, right? Because he was following their offensive coordinator.
Oh, I didn't even see that their OC went over there.
Yeah, Washington State's OC got hired by Oklahoma, and I thought it was only a matter of time till he followed. I know that, well, Jake Dicker said that he put together the Coug Collective put together a 7-figure deal for John Mateer to stay.
But it wasn't in money. It was just nothing but pallets of Cougar gold. Listen, John, we can't offer you a lot of money, but we have a fuck ton of Cougar gold we can give you.
So, I mean, I think that he did the best thing for himself in going to an offense he already knows, a play caller he knows, and should be able to surround himself with some better talent.
Yeah, I think that would be the case, and maybe Oklahoma will actually have an offense next year.
Yeah, if anything, they'll have someone who can improvise and make things happen. That guy is crazy.
One team that made some moves in the transfer portal over the last couple of days is they got the D lineman out of Alabama, Jaheim Otis, but then they also got their quarterback today. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Caden Salter, yeah, for Colorado. Yeah.
We know him well.
I think that they're going to get Kevin Concepcion too. I think he hasn't said
The
it
kid
yet.
from NC State.
Yeah, who's one of the top wide receivers in the transfer portal.
Yes.
I think the number one transfer portal wide receiver is Eric Singleton, who's a Georgia Tech guy. I think he might have committed yesterday.
I don't
Auburn.
see. I don't see on. I'm on 27 Sports right now. 24/7 Sports. I didn't see if he did or not. I mean, there's predictions saying that he's going to go to Auburn, but there has not been an official word, tweet, or anything yet.
Did you see that? I just see on 3 here. Oregon lands commitment from massive transfer O-line Isaiah World from Nevada. We just got another tackle today. That means Josh Connerly is going to enter the draft.
I'm trying to find them on the 24/7.
Do you know Isaiah World was going between Texas A&M, Ohio?
His last name is World?
Yes. He only allowed 1 pressure this whole entire year. Tackle. He's a left tackle. 6'8".
Yeah, I'm seeing it right now. I don't know why it was doing that for me, because when I had the what is it, the all
We're
rankings?
paying some serious money right now for tackles. We just got 2 tackles, and we just got a left tackle and a right tackle today.
Isaiah World, 21 ranked transfer on the transfer portal. Yeah,
holy shit, that's the first time I'm seeing. That's a big get. That's a big get for us. We needed that.
Another solid little day for Dan.
Dan just cooking today. Got himself a tight end. Got himself 2 tackles.
Well, it's great. It's like he had his first tweet this morning, and it was 1 duck emoji. And then his next tweet was a 2nd duck emoji. And then 18 minutes ago, he tweets out a 3rd duck emoji.
Oh, he's hot.
He's on one.
Dude,
I just love it. Like him just not even saying anything, just tweeting out the ducks.
Yeah. His press conference today, he could not talk. His voice was so hoarse. Like, it sounded like me after the Ohio State game, but worse. Like, I don't know what he'd been doing at practice, but he was like, someone asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh, well, obviously, I didn't realize I was going to have to talk to you guys today," as like a joke. But he sounded like he was like either just chewing ass, or he was
hot.
Yeah, or he was just yelling over the intercom. But yeah, oh my god.
Yeah,
That's a big get.
Also, I need to hit the follow button on this Hayes Fawcett guy on
Oh,
Twitter.
you don't follow Hayes Fawcett?
Well, I do now, but my
Hayes
God,
Fawcett's awesome.
Yeah, since when did this guy start becoming just the absolute plug on every college football transfer signee ever?
Oh, dude, yeah, he's big. He's really big. I've been following him for a few years now.
God, I feel like I've seen his name pop up a couple times, but especially, this time of year, it just like...
Oh, he's so locked in. Yeah.
God damn. That's crazy. Well, good for the Ducks getting their offensive line in shape, because they're going to be losing some guys. So,
I mean, they're going to be losing more than some, depending on if Matthew Bedford is able to get a medical red shirt or not for being out basically all year. Didn't even get a snap. But yeah, you're losing your 2 tackles. You're losing Marcus Harper, one of your guards. You're losing Nashad Strother, your other guard. So basically everyone but Poncho up front. So gonna have to retool, and hopefully Dave Vaiuli will slide into one of those guard spots, because I think he's really good.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the other offensive linemen. Who else can we snag? Who else wants to come on over?
I know who was on campus today from Vanderbilt. He's a interior guy. He'd probably play a guard. His name's slipping me right now.
Slippy, Slappy, Swami, Samsonite.
Do you see Micah Pittman entered the transfer portal again.
Oh my God.
Again.
Well, I saw Chris Hudson entered the transfer portal too.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
A couple Mario guys.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you saw the picture from the Heisman trophy ceremony when they were talking to Dan Lanning. And,
Mario was behind him.
Yeah, and like everybody is like looking at Dan Lanning as he's talking, and Mario's like looking off in a complete other direction, like can't even look at him.
I did see that. I was like, he's such a little bitch. He is.
Yeah. Well, shit. The player movement continues, and the coaching movement. You got Michael Vick going to Norfolk State. I mean, shit.
Yeah. I heard some like fake news the other day about Sacramento State trying to come up to the FBS level, and they got a ridiculous amount of NIL backing to make them be able to like compete in the Mountain West or something like that. Like
Sacramento State?
Yeah. Yeah, and they were trying to get Michael Vick to be their coach too.
I did see that part, but I didn't see or hear anything of the whole part about them having money to be able to compete in the Mountain West.
Someone threw out that they would have a $50 million backing of NIL.
Okay.
I was like, who went to Sac State? Like, what I know. Like,
should we look this up real quick?
Yeah,
like Sac State famous alum.
Yeah, like is it some tech guy or something in there?
Tom Hanks, Lester Holt.
Tom Hanks went to Sac State.
That's what it says on the Googs.
On the Googs.
I'm looking. I'm on the wiki page. I'm looking to confirm this. Reese Hoskins. Football. Cowboys corner Deron Bland. Maybe he's throwing in a couple bucks there. Yeah, I don't see. I can't believe I'm going through the Sac State famous alumni list, but David Hodo, a member of Village People, Bobby McFerrin, the famous singer of "Don't Worry, Be Happy."
Okay, I'm not thinking any of these people have $50 million to give to the collective.
But yeah, Lester Holt, I'm seeing it. Yeah, Tom Hanks, there it is on the wiki page. Bam.
Well, do you think Tom Hanks has $50 million extra dollars to give to the Sac State football program? I don't think he's that big of a football guy. I don't know him.
Maybe Chet is the one that convinced him. Dad, I'm telling you. It's gonna be white boy summer at Sacramento State.
Oh, okay. Never mind. The guy I thought they were going to have on campus actually committed to Florida State today. So
why would he do that?
Yikes. I was wrong with that.
What an idiot. Who was it? Gunnar Hansen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see him. 31 ranked offensive lineman. Don't need him.
We need interior guys anyway. He's grading out as a tackle. Whatever.
You want to go to Florida State? That's fine.
Yeah.
One guy that's not transferring, that's going to the NFL. Did you see who that is from Florida State?
DJ Uyunglele.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he even has any eligibility left, but
he does have a single year, but don't do it. Don't put yourself with another offensive coordinator. Don't let your draft stock go even more down. And I don't think
what draft stock?
I was gonna say I don't even think he's gonna get drafted. I think he's gonna be a UFA and he's gonna get signed to some mini camp and then maybe dropped.
I think that he sees some either Toronto Argonauts in his future.
Yeah.
Get ready to learn Canadian, buddy.
Yeah, he might be a XFL kind of guy.
He's not going to be in the NFL kind of guy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, there's apparently a big hog Molly from Northwestern that still hasn't transferred anywhere yet. interior offensive lineman from Texas A&M that hasn't transferred anywhere yet.
A big hog molly.
Delano Townsend from UAB. He's transferring. Come on up. Why not?
Townsend from UAB, huh?
Yeah.
There's a couple. There's someone who just entered from, no, I'm not interested in him. Yeah, there's some of these guys, like just about all of Wake Forest offensive lines in the portal now. That kid, Luke Pettibon, he's ranked as like a 91 in the transfer portal now. He just entered there today, 6'3", 285. He has started pretty much every game that he's been at Wake Forest. That's a guy to look at.
Besides the offensive line, what else is Oregon going to need?
Maybe another tight end, or because they just got, was that Jamari Johnson today?
Yeah, the Louisville tight end.
Because they originally were trying to sign him out of high school last year, and he chose Louisville for whatever reason, money wise, I think. And then I think maybe we take someone else in the defensive backfield, maybe not. I think wide receiver could be a possibility, depending on if Evan Stewart leaves or not.
Fine, we'll take Zachariah Branch.
He'd be the perfect guy to fill in Will Stein's offense.
Yeah. Or Deuce Robinson, either one of the USC guys. I'll take either one just to rub it in their face.
Yeah, I mean, Deuce Robinson says that he wants to play wide receiver now, so I don't know if he's even better than Kyler Casper, honestly.
Quite frankly, I'll just any USC guys, just give them whatever they want. Bring them to Oregon, just
to rub them in the face.
Yeah, just for the sake of sticking it up their craw.
I think they have a few. Do you know Malik Murphy, the quarterback who was Duke quarterback and the old Texas quarterback?
Yes.
He was on campus today in Corvallis for Oregon State.
I did hear that. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing there. I mean, if it's
find a place to play football.
For football? He was there for football?
He's trying to find a place to play football, yes.
God. Well, I wouldn't do that in Corvallis.
Yeah, but that would probably be one of his better options right now, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, not I don't know. Go to a more esteemed college. Go to Cal or something like that.
Ooh, they are looking for someone since his name Fernando Mendoza.
Go to Cal. Go to like UCLA or something like that. Don't go to Oregon State.
Who knows? Oregon State might be throwing some money at him.
Throwing that ag money, that engineering money at him.
Exactly.
When's the NVIDIA CEO going to start coughing up the money for Oregon State?
We should. Someone needs to tweet them.
Hopefully he doesn't start doing that, because if that NVIDIA money starts coming in for Oregon State, oh boy, I think there might be a new big brother in the state of Oregon.
We got problems.
Yeah, what's his name? Jensen Huang. Yeah. Let's make sure that he's not a football fan and never becomes one.
Yeah, that's for sure.
How about that? Went to Aloha High School. Huang got his first job at a local Denny's restaurant. Good for him.
Who didn't,
Good for him. Well, now I want a Grand Slamwich.
They do have great deals there.
Or that 2468. Go crush some of those.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
A B&G, a biscuits and gravy.
Are you starving right now or what?
I was going to say, all right, now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see from my headline here, I did transfer some fish tacos to my mouth before the episode. So,
ooh, nice.
Yeah, some rockfish I had left over from my catch earlier this year off the coastal waters of Warrenton. Or not Warrenton. Wait, was it? What's
What beach was I at?
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck I was at. No, Garibaldi. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, is that near there? Is Warrenton near Garibaldi? Am I even geographically close?
I couldn't tell you, to be
Oh
honest.
no, Warrenton's up by Astoria. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Geography here on Fish and Toast.
yeah. Do you got anything left on the transfer portal or anything you wanted to get to? Or are you good?
No, I'm good, man. I'm just seeing the Mateer
right.
news, the Dickert news, the Liberty kid going to Colorado. I thought
Deion's
felt was
got his new
interesting.
quarterback.
Yep, it sounds like Deion is, but granted, when is a college head coach ever lied? He's kind of sounding like he wants to plant his flag in Colorado.
Yeah, which good for him. Good for Colorado. That's what they need right now.
But again, when has a college coach ever lied to us? So
until that next big offer comes in, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just don't be the Dallas Cowboys head coach next, please. Please, for the love of God, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, I mean, shit, man. If we want to do a little Christmas Eve get together, not actually like get together to record, I'm gonna be quote unquote working from home that day.
Okay.
So it's definitely something I could do, or we can enjoy our holidays and we can catch up the Thursday after. It is up to you.
Okay, we'll be talking. We'll be talking here, and we'll try to decide what's going to work best.
I will let you know about Saturday. I say we hit up Smitty. I don't know what Kyle may be doing.
He's going to be in
Josh.
Tacoma.
Oh, that bastard.
Yeah, we can hit up Josh.
Yeah, see if he can escape.
Yeah.
Get out of the house to watch the Duckies. Again, I don't know what Kyle's doing, if that's something he would want to, something he'd be interested in or not. But
yeah, I can hit him up.
All right. Well,
all right, bud.
Have enjoy your bowl season over the next couple of days. And
I will.
Enjoy Friday night. I'll make sure I enjoy the zoo lights as well.
Go Hoosiers.
Go Oregon Zoo. And hopefully I'm not too distracted by now that I realize I have to do that and also like take care of not only my son but my nephew also and watch this game on my phone.
You're gonna be busy.
Yeah. I gotta bring the portable charger though. I cannot have the phone dying on me while I'm there.
That is essential.
Yeah, that would be a big mistake. All right, brother. I will catch you likely on Saturday.
All right. Peace, man.
Peace.